Hi, today I'm going to do a demo for Jamberry nail wrap application. It's a really simple process and a way for you to get creative with your nails, be unique by the type of nail wrap that you select. And it's a way just to have beautiful nails. So I'm going to show you how to easily prep your nails and then how to apply the wraps using a mixed mani, meaning that there are several different patterns in one sheet of nail wraps. So what you want to do always before you use any of our Jamberry products is you want to prep your nails. You want to file your nails down to the length you want. Buff them down. If you've got any ridges in your nails, you want to buff them. Cut any cuticle away or any extra little skin that you may have. You can use one of these cuticle pushers to push any of your cuticle down. We have a cuticle remover that you can use. It's in pen form that you can use to help get your cuticle off. We also have a cuticle oil pen that you can use daily just to soften your cuticles and make them easier to work with. The last step you want to do is you want to use an alcohol prep pad or maybe white vinegar, and you want to wipe your nails down to make sure you get any of the residue or dirt or oil that you may have on your fingernails that you may not even notice, but to make sure you have a clean surface to work with. You always want to make sure that your nail wraps are touching your nail and not your cuticle bed or your skin itself. So you want to make sure that you're sizing your wrap, that it's could be slightly smaller than your nail, which is fine. You just don't want it bigger than your nail. So nail wraps come in a full sheet, and I've already cut the 3 I'm going to use today, but it comes in a full sheet. You get enough for 2 manicures and 2 pedicures. The 2 biggest ones are your pedicures, and you can do a full foot or 5 toes with these 2 wraps. And then you get both hands in a mani for each half of your sheet. Or you can do a ton of accent nails, which is kind of what I'm going to do today and what I'm going to show you. So I've already cut the 3 that I know fit the fingers that I'm going to use today. So there are these 3 right here. So I'm just going to show you how easy it is to apply. So for each actual wrap, it's for 2 fingers. So this would be my thumb. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the wrap in half. If you happen to have really long nails, you may use one of these full wraps for a finger. If you have really long nails, just know that when you're buying your wraps, you may need to buy more. If you like a mixed mani and you want the same actual, like if you want this print on both fingers and you have really long nails, you know you'll have to cut it longer. You can always buy 2 sheets to make sure you get that same print on both of those fingers. So I know that my nail bed for my thumb is slightly flat. It's squared off at the bottom. So I'm actually going to, on my thumb, cut the very bottom just to flatten the end so I get a better seam on the bottom. It looks more seamless. So once I've done that, you see I've got my thumb nail wrap. Next thing you want to do is use your orange cuticle pusher or your orange stick. You want to get under that nail wrap to pull it off the backing that it's on. Make sure that anywhere that the wrap is going to touch your nail, you don't touch it with your fingers. That's where this orange cuticle stick comes in very handy. So now you see I've got it off. Now Jamberry offers a mini heater, perfect for nail wraps. It's a small little heater, and when you turn it on and you heat your wrap, you start you soften the binding or the bonding element on the back of the wrap. That's what's going to seal to your nail. Jamberry wraps are not stickers. They do have a bonding element on the back. So I'm just going to soften this a little bit. You'll see it actually starts to wilt. And that's how I know it's kind of started the process for me. So once I've got this wrap kind of softened a little, I'm going to go ahead and put it on my thumb. Trying to get it at a good view for you. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to center it on the nail, up to your cuticle but not on your cuticle. And you want to make sure you center it on your nail so that it's centered from left to right, and you want to push down in the center. So you're going to start that process of sealing it to your nail by pushing in the center. And then once you've gotten the center down, you're going to start to push to the edges, down to your cuticle. And that's going to start the seal. So the next step, so you see it's on my nail now, but you want to make sure you don't have any ridges or buckles, any bumps, any air that's gotten in. So you're going to use this rubber pusher, And you're going to start to push it down on the nail just to make sure you get any of those ridges out. Going to push around the side, make sure you get any of those little bumps and ridges. Push around the top. Make sure it's sealed right around the edge of your nail. And then once you feel like you've got a good seal, you're just going to let it sit. So when you heat the wrap with the mini heater, it expands. So what you want to do now is you want to give it time to rest, to cool down before you sand the edge so it's firm to the edge of your nail. So you just want to let it sit. So while it's sitting, I'll go ahead and do my next nail. And my next nail is going to be with this very cool striped pattern. Goes along with my first nail. And I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to cut it in the middle. And I'm going to do the same process. My next nail isn't as squared off, so I'm not going to bother with cutting the end. And again, I'm going to use my orange stick. And I'm going to not stick my first wrap to the second. I'm then going to go ahead and put that orange stick under so I can pull the wrap off. So you've got your wrap here, and remember we're going to heat it for a second just to soften the bonding agent, get that started. Alright, so now it's started to turn. You see it's starting to bend a little. So it's softened. So we're going to do the same exact process, but we're just moving on to my pointer finger now. So again, I'm going to push it up to the cuticle, but not on the cuticle. And you're going to push firm to the middle of your nail, like you did with the thumb. And now what you want to do is just push the sides again to make sure you're starting to seal it to your nail. And you can always pull along the top just to make sure you're getting a nice firm seal. Like I can feel I've got a little ridge here, so I'm going to pull a little bit here just to make sure I've got a nice seal. And once I feel like it's pretty firm, I'm going to use that rubber pusher again. And I'm just going to again push down towards my cuticle bed and start pushing all those, any lumps and bumps and ridges. I'm going to start pushing all of those out just to make sure I have a good seal. Alright. So those are the two that I have so far. And again, you want to let it rest after you've heated it with the mini heater and you've pushed all on it. You want to let it rest. So I'm going to go ahead and work with my thumb because we've given it time to seal a little. You feel it's a little firmer now to the touch. So now we're going to use our nail file. And you want to go straight down in the same direction. And you're going to file the wrap down until you get to the nail. Don't file your nail. Just file the wrap until the wrap falls off. Don't pull at the wrap, because then you may mess with the bonding that you've done. So just slightly sand the nail until the wrap begins to fall off. As you see right here, it's starting to fall off, so you just complete that process until it falls. See, that started to come off, so I'll do the other side now. And you just want to do this. Some people will leave their nail trimming until this part, and then they will trim down to the tip of their nail and cut the very tip of their nail and kind of do their nail trimming at the same time as they cut their wrap off, so that they know they get a good seal. You can do it that way too. So I'm just working on this last little bit. That's pulled off now. See, so here's the tip of the nail wrap that we've gotten off, and here's my wrap. So you'll notice it's pretty smooth, but you may have a couple of rough edges. Jamberry offers a glass file. We offer it in a 2-pack set or also in the deluxe toolkit. This is great because it gets those little ridges out, you know, any of those little rough pieces that you get from the wrap. It allows you to sand them down and get a really smooth finish. So you're just going to sand those down and make sure you've got it all smooth, which I do. And there's my wrap. So the one last thing you want to do with this is you want to give it one good kick with the heater, just to make sure if while you've sanded it down you've got any lifting on the edge, that you bond that back down. So I'm just going to, I'm going to wait until I sand this next one, and then I'll heat them both so that we can get that last little bond. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with this one. So I'm going to start in the middle, and I'm just going to sand straight down. And again, you're just sanding until you get to the nail or until the nail wrap falls off. So I'm going to pull this one a little to make sure I don't get a little ridge on the side because we don't want any bubbling. Again, the wrap may pull up a little during this part. That's normal. That's what the final heating bond will do. It'll allow that seal to take place again. I'm going to get this last little bit off. As you see, most of it's just sanded right on off. And there you go. That's my second nail, and there's the extra little piece. So again, we just want to take the glass file, and you just want to sand down any extra little rough spots that you think may be extra nail wrap that didn't come off. And again, it's just that downward motion till you get the smooth nail. Get that one little piece on the edge. So there you go. There's one nail, and there's two nails. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my mini heater again. I'm just going to do a final bond. So what I do here is I'm just going to put it up to the heater and just let that heater just heat that bonding element one more time just to get that good seal. I'll show you another trick that you can do after I've done this for a second. All right. See, the other trick some people do to make sure they have a good bond is this cuticle pusher, which comes in our deluxe toolkit. This is a really great tool to get right around the nail and push any ridges and bubbles out after you've heated it. So the way that you're going to do this, the trick is that you're going to take this, the bigger side, or if it's your pinky nail, the smaller side, and you're going to heat it with your mini heater until it gets pretty warm, because you want it to act as though it's the heating element of the mini heater, but it's in a smaller form. So you're just going to heat it. And once it's warm, you're just going to push along your wrap, push along the edges, push along the cuticle bed, run it along your nail. Just make sure you've got that good bond. And once you're done with that, I always do a final step. This is just me, you don't have to do this, but I always encourage people to use the Cure clear color or the True Shine gel, either the glossy top coat or the matte top coat, just to do a final kind of seal on it. The reason I do that is often because I pair my mixed mani wraps with a Cure color. Today I'm going to do Bubblegum Bay in another application, but I always like to do the Cure top coat. It just helps with the lasting and the protection of your wraps. You don't have to do it. I just like to do it. So I hope you have enjoyed my application video. And I will be on again at another time and give you some more nifty little tricks about Jamberry. Thank you.